Welcome back. Few things I would like to remind you. First, we are studying for a course called CA. Yaad hai? Yes. Thank you. And in CA, we are at the intermediate level. Second exam, that is the second exam. After this, there will be one more. Very good. In that, we are in paper number 4, that is direct tax. And under direct tax, we are near completion of our chapter number 3, that is exempt income. Exempt means what? On that you don't have to pay tax. For you at inter level, the list is given in section 10. So you learn section 10, you are done. We got done with the biggest section, agriculture, then 10 ka remaining things we did. And now we reach the last couple of things in section 10. One is section 10, 26 AAA. Chill. Section 10 में exempt है. Life में don't take so much load. Okay. Income of a Sikkimese, a native of the state of Sikkimese. Chinese होता ना, Chinese, Sikkim. A native of the state of Sikkim. There is a special provision for Sikkim ka state. But Sikkim does not bring political mileage, no? Sikkim is not Kashmir, no? So no one talks about it. So just like we have Article 370 for Kashmir, there is another article which is providing special status to Sikkim also. But this is not going to bring any kind of political mileage for the government, and therefore no one talks about it. But the people of Sikkim have a special status. And as far as the tax status is concerned, what is this? If you are a native of the state of Sikkim, any income earned in Sikkim, in the state of Sikkim, fully exempt. Any income earned in Sikkim, fully exempt. Wait, two things this means. One, Sikkim is earning outside the state of Sikkim, so taxable ke exempt. Taxable. A non-Sikkim is मी मुंबईकर, माझा जन्म इकडे झाला आणि मरणारी इथेच. नाही, don't worry, it's okay to not know the meaning of what I said. Point is, I am from Mumbai. I go and earn something in Sikkim. That is taxable. This is, Sikkim is earning in Sikkim. The income will be fully exempt. No problem? Northeastern states, we always granted them special status. A lot of them have been deleted, but this is not yet deleted. Okay? And because their geography is such, no, we need to give, see, it is like asking why is there reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and backward class in our country, in education, in government jobs, why everywhere? Why does a general category student is eligible to appear for a particular exam up to the age of 30, and a scheduled caste candidate is allowed to appear for up to the age of 35, maybe sometimes beyond that? Why do we give benefit to minority communities? Because India is a sovereign socialist republic. We believe in equal development of all. Your geography is not favorable. So some other direct, indirect ways we want to provide you benefit. Okay. So any income earned in the state of Sikkim, fully exempt. Any dividend you earn on which asset? Shares. Or interest from securities. Any dividend or interest from securities earned anywhere. देखो सिक्किम के अंदर तो anyways it is exempt. No? So dividend interest earned anywhere it is going to be exempt. Not just Sikkim. मतलब Sikkim is individual. Buying shares of Reliance and earning dividend, exempt. Debentures of Tata and earning interest, exempt. Reliance Tata are not in Sikkim. Still exempt. That means in Sikkim, all incomes, and outside Sikkim, interest and dividend from securities. Is that clear? Okay. 4A, gain earned on buyback of share by company. Either it is going to be very easy for me to explain this to you, or it is going to be very difficult. There is no midway here. And it all depends on this chapter, buyback of shares. Have you studied in accounts or no? And that will decide whether it is easy for me or difficult. But we know to how. Nini, how do you know? What do you know? Nini, how do you know? Now go ahead. Now, how you know I understood? Now, what do you know?
So basically, when a company pays back the shareholders a certain value, it might be the market value, might be above also, below also. But they buy back that share the shareholder has purchased. So,
Barabar hai? You're absolutely right. But let me put it in my words. This concept, buyback, is a part of your syllabus of accounts, audit, law in inter, and accounts, audit, law of final. 6 exams it will come. And tax mein to I am teaching on. Tax mein bhi inter and final. What is the transaction? Accounts will teach you, law will teach you. What is the tax effect? That I have to tell you. What is buyback? Buyback, first I am explaining the meaning of buyback. So I am not explaining the gain pala part. Exemption wala part will come later. What is buyback? What do you mean by buyback? Buyback means reduction of paid up share capital. Paid up, or I should be specific, paid up equity share capital. Whenever a company is issuing shares, it can be equity or preference. Do we know that? Preference shares are going to be preference shares are going to be redeemed on a particular date. Yes or no?
yes.
But equity shares ke liye there is no particular redemption ka date. Do you agree with that? Once you acquire equity shares, you never get your money back. Option 1, if the shares are listed on stock exchange and you are trying to sell it and you find a buyer, then you can sell it. There is no problem. Private company mein to that is also difficult because the company has to allow the transfer of shares. Public company, if listed, then stock market pay you can sell, but for that also there has to be a buyer. Just that you want to sell is not enough. If there is no buyer, the shares go on something called a lower circuit. But today is not the day and this is not the subject to explain to you what is upper circuit and lower circuit. Time will teach you. Financial management will someday teach you. Otherwise, once we invest in equity shares, we never get our money back unless the company goes for liquidation. So if the company goes for liquidation, liquidation is also chapter in accounts. Ho gaya? Legal expense, liquidator remuneration, liquidation expense, secured creditors, preferential creditors, debenture holders. Bad mein gaya order of payments. I am least interested in that. That is not my subject. My question is, who is the last person to get paid? If you would have said shareholder, no, to nahi chalta. Correct answer is equity shareholder. He is going to get paid only at the time of liquidation, not before that. Means once you invest, the company has your money. Now with this paid up share capital, of which you as a shareholder are a part, the company will also have some difficulties and you need to understand that difficulty. Every time there is a declaration of bonus, more number of shares means more people we have to give that bonus. Yeah, for that, do you know bonus? Yes. So more shares means more bonus. Dividend paid by any company is paid as a percentage of paid up share capital. If the company is declaring 10% dividend, it will give it to you, not on the nominal value, not on the, it will give it to you on the paid up share capital dividend. Do we know that? That means higher the equity share capital, higher will be the outflow at the time of bonus and dividend, because ultimately the bonus, the dividend is paid out of the free reserves, the reserves and surplus of the company. No? So because of that, we want to reduce our paid up share capital. We want to reduce our paid up share capital because that reduction will bring savings future mein whenever we bring bonus or dividend. So we want to reduce our paid up share capital. Did you understand this? Okay. One more thing that will come to you in your audit ka syllabus is that when kisi company ka turnover crosses a certain threshold, so their reporting criteria increases. There is something called statutory audit known as company audit applicable to all companies. In that the auditor has to fill up a form. But when your turnover crosses a certain criteria, your paid up equity share capital crosses a certain criteria, so there is an additional report required which is known as CARO. Company Auditor Report Order, something like that. Extra work. All this will come in your audit syllabus as well as your law syllabus because Companies Act is a part of both. Company audit is a part of both. See, it is given in Companies Act, so in law, and Companies Act mein the audit related section, so part of audit also. So that is why also company wants to reduce paid up share capital. I have till now explained to you only this much, that there is a company desirous of reducing its paid up equity share capital. You did something purposely here, no? Acha, that way. Okay. मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Talent है bro. चल. I gave you multiple reasons why a company wants to reduce its paid up equity share capital. Are we convinced about that? Now what happens is, first, this reduction will not happen. First thing that will happen is issue of shares. Example. Shares of a company having a face value of 100 issued at 150. What is this 50 rupees called? Premium. Bank account debit 150 to equity share capital 100 to securities premium 150 50. Correct? Eh? Okay. That means this is my purchase price. To hell with the face value, as a shareholder, this is my purchase price. And now that I have purchased my share at this price, every time there is dividend bonus declaration, I will be eligible to get. But the company wants to reduce its burden. So company will give me a buyback offer. Do you want to return the share and take your money back? It is an offer. To accept or not accept is an option, is a choice of the shareholder. You can say, no, I want to remain the shareholder. You are taking the risk of getting paid only at the time of liquidation. Normally, you will not get money before liquidation. But this is a chance that we are giving you. Chahiye paisa wapas, give it back. We'll give you your money back. So you don't have to wait till liquidation. But if you see bright future of the company, then you refuse. Bindas refuse. This is only an offer. Accepting or not accepting is a matter of choice of the shareholder. Do you understand what I am trying to tell you here? So to accept or not accept, that you can decide. Are samjha kya? Okay. Little common sense is required. The offer that the company will give you has to be more than 150. Otherwise, that offer is of no use. Tell me why. So if you have the option of saying no, why will you accept less than 150? Correct? So buyback offer example 180. Still you can say no. If you think that some time later, few years later, the share ka market price will become 200, 250, 300 and then I will sell it on stock market and earn higher profits. If you are willing to take that risk, so no problem hai. Mitro, this is an offer. Accepting or not accepting is a choice of the shareholder. And then here, some of the rules and regulations of company law apply. In the old company law 1956, there was a section 77A on buyback. I still remember all sections of Companies Act 1956 that I had studied by heart, which is of no use now. A good professional is someone who can learn, unlearn and relearn. All that knowledge is of no use. My students have told me, because Companies Act 2013 came after I became a CA, specialized in tax, and then I was not required to study anything in company law. My students told me that in the new company law it is section 68, but I leave the section number for your verification. I'll tell you the provision, because provision in new company act and old company act is same. There are some rules. Rule number 1, a company can buy back maximum 25% of its capital. So supposingly paid up share capital is 10,000 shares. Of course, that's I am saying in number, multiplied by face value will be the amount in the share capital account. Extra will be in the reserves and surplus account as in the form of securities premium. In number of shares I am saying, what is the paid up share capital? 10,000 shares. So a company can buy back only 2,500. Aisa nahi ki everyone, sir, that means you are liquidating. If all the shares are getting surrendered, that means it's a case of liquidation. Do you understand? Yes. First rule, only maximum 25% capital can be bought back. Second, the total amount that you will pay your shareholders will be number of shares bought back into the buyback offer price. This is the offer into number of shares that you are buying back. Can be 25% of your capital plus reserves. Share capital ka face value plus all your reserves, uska 25% in rupees you can pay. So in terms of number of shares also you can buy back maximum 25%, and in terms of value, rupee payment, it can be 25% of capital plus reserves. And third, the debt equity ratio. Ratio analysis. कोई हाँ बोलता है कोई ना बोलता है क्या नहीं. So others did not have it in 12th. अच्छा CBSE बोर्ड. तो तुम सब किधर ICSE? HSC. हाँ अपना नॉर्मल वाला. नो ठग लाइक एकदम ऑर्डिनरी पीपल. आएगा फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट में रेशियो एनालिसिस, विच इज व्हाई इट इज ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल टू लर्न टैक्स आफ्टर डूइंग सब्सटेंशियल पोर्शन ऑफ अदर सब्जेक्ट्स. बट आएगा, इफ नॉट टुडे वेरी सून. डेट इक्विटी मतलब द टोटल लोन्स that you have taken, is that your debt upon the total equity? Is this getting reduced because of buyback? Then this can be maximum 2:1, means your equity has to be minimum half of your borrowings even after buyback. That's also a condition. What I told you orally, the 3 conditions of buyback will be taught to you in writing in accounts audit law at inter and accounts audit law at final. 3 conditions for a company to get the permission of buyback. Condition 1, maximum 25% shares. Condition 2, total expenditure not exceeding 25% of capital and reserves. And condition 3, debt equity not exceeding 2:1 after buyback. See, before buyback the ratio can be anything. After buyback, if you are reducing equity, still it cannot be more than double the loans. Subject to this, can the company give an offer like this? Whether to accept the offer or not accept the offer is a choice, but can there be some shareholders like, अच्छा है 30 रुपया मिल रहा है, good. Who knows what will happen to this company? I am getting my investment plus 20% on my investment. बुद्धि चलाओ थोड़ा, नहीं तो कैलकुलेटर चलाओ. Investment was 150, 20% of that is 30. I am getting that profit, no? So I am getting 20% return. I am happy. People fixed deposit के अंदर 20% you don't get for 6, 7 years, 8 years. I am very happy. चला. Do you understand what is the gain of shareholder? If you don't understand this, that means you have not understood the concept. The issue price is the price at which the shareholder acquired the share. Can I call this the purchase price of the shareholder? The buyback price is the price at which the shareholder has surrendered his share to the company. That's his. For him, it becomes like a selling price. Do you understand that? Therefore, the buyback price, which in our example is 180, minus the issue price, which in our example was 150, is like the difference between selling price and purchase price, and shareholder is earning a gain of 30. This is the gain on buyback of shares. This is the profit which is my heading. This is the profit which is exempt under 1034A. What is exempt? The gain that I earn if a company has done buyback. First of all, shareholder will pakka have gain, because if it is loss, I will not accept the offer. Unless there is a shareholder who feels, ke, bro, jo mil raha hai, that is better. Don't know what will happen tomorrow to the company and the stock market. Long run mein nothing will happen. Speculators are always going to suffer. Obviously. Okay. So, very rare. And generally companies don't offer only below the price, below the market price, below the purchase price. Okay. So, will there be gain? In our example, every shareholder has earned gain of 30 per share. If we have to find out his total gain, we have to obviously multiply by number of shares. This gain is exempt. Gain at the time of buyback of shares by a company will be exempt. Provision is understood. But sir, we now want to know why. Logic. What is the provision and why is the provision ka difference? And that will make you better than anybody else in the country. Because if I have to be better than anybody else in the country in my subject, then I have to first make you better than anybody else. In India, in our income tax law, there is a section 115 QA in CA final, which says the company will pay tax on this thing. Gain to a shareholder at the time of buyback will be taxable for the company, and thus we will not take tax from the shareholder. So there will be someone who will pay tax. Who will pay tax? And therefore this exemption is for whom? And now tell me what is the logic, the reason? We are going to make the company pay tax on this gain. The company will pay tax. And now you all are convinced that one person is paying tax, the other will get exempt. But sir, why company will pay tax? Because gain kiska hai? It's a gain of the shareholder. But company is paying tax. So sir, iska bhi logic give us. Thousands of shareholders. Everybody holding hundreds of shares, which makes lakhs of shares being bought back. कितना अमाउंट बोला था रे तूने? What amount you told me? Buyback done by Infosys?
35,000 crores.
So if that 35,000 is distributed, it must have been distributed to one person, multiple shareholders, thousands of shareholders. Correct hai? Everyone has earned some gain on this. Bichara income tax officer, like a beggar, घर घर जाके knock knock, give me tax on gain, no, to each individual shareholder, yes or no?
No.
He will have two normal circumstances if we start taxing the shareholder, because whose gain? Shareholder. So if we tax the real person who has earned the income, तो poor guy, the assessing officer will have to go घर घर जाके भिक्षम देही भिक्षम, भीख मांगे रहते हैं, please pay tax, no, please pay tax, please pay tax. We want to make it convenient for our department. So when the money is leaving the company, at that time the company on behalf of all of them will pay tax. And don't worry, company paying tax का indirect burden at a future date, company का reserves reduced, मतलब indirectly shareholder का wealth is reduced. So not directly but indirectly shareholders have only paid tax. But this will save us the trouble of running behind individual shareholder. Nothing is bigger than logic. Hashtag thug life. Na. तो आगे मत बोलना please. Please. Section 1034A. Is that clear everyone?
Yes.
Okay. And because of this 3 years ago, the same system was being followed for dividend. Company was paying under this section a tax called DDT, dividend distribution tax, and shareholder ke liye that dividend used to be exempt under this section. You understand, no? 1034A is different from 1034. In fact, This was a 20-year-old section. This came about 5 years ago. 115 QA came. Same year this came, no? Because when companies started paying tax, shareholders started getting exemption. 4-5 years ago. The 20-year-old provision they deleted as late as 2 years ago. Dividend has started becoming taxable for shareholders abhi. And this was also protested by the investor community. That one reason behind stock market ka attractiveness is that dividend will not be taxable. And that is also getting eliminated because the moment these two got deleted, matlab company will no longer pay tax, shareholder will no longer get exemption. But auntie has got other ideas. Auntie says, who has earned dividend? Shareholder should pay tax. Okay. In dividend, finding the amount of income is easy. Why? What you receive is your income. You receive 10,000, that's your dividend. You receive 1 lakh, that's your dividend. You pay tax on that 10,000 or 1 lakh. In buyback, what you receive is different from what you pay tax on. And we spoke about a shareholder who purchased at 150. True or false? Every shareholder will purchase the share at the same price. Somebody purchased during the IPO, somebody purchased later, somebody got it as a gift, somebody got it as inheritance. Different people, different cost. This has to be computed for every individual shareholder. So difference samjho, dividend and buyback ka. In dividend, the distributed amount is only income of the receiver. But in buyback, the distributed amount is not income. That's the selling price. You have to find out this. So finding this for every shareholder, see, this is going to be fixed only for everyone. But finding this for every shareholder is going to be difficult for the AO. So they are like a QA to nahi nikale. This company has to take the headache. Matlab as a company, if I am buying back, so every individual shareholder ka cost I will have to go and find out. तूने कब लिया था, तूने कब लिया था, तूने कब लिया, like that every individual shareholder का I will have to find out. And that trouble AO does not want to take. So buyback के लिए they are retaining the old structure, but dividend के लिए they have said किसका income that person should pay. Okay, did you understand the difficulty level in dividend and buyback difference?
So, but then won't this increase the expenditure of the company which it will take out from the surplus?
But the idea is only that, no? Company का any expense is an expense of shareholder in his shareholding proportion. Agree करो के disagree करो? Agree? So indirect effect is coming on the shareholder. But it is saving us the trouble of running behind individual shareholder. No? This is for the convenience. That was the whole idea.
So in our example, the gain was 30 rupees. So the company will pay 30 rupees by deduction tax or without deduction tax?
Deduction tax?
After deducting tax.
Company will give it shareholder 180. 180? 180 देगा. 150 was the cost of an example shareholder. ऐसे individual shareholder का find out the cost. That will give you gain shareholder wise. That will be the total gain of all the shareholders. On that, company has to pay lump sum 20% ka tax rate. But I have not taught you 115 QA actually. 115 QA is not a part of your syllabus. It is only to understand logic of 1034A. So 115 QA बोलता है company will pay 20% on this profit amount. Correct? Tax deduction happens only if receiver के लिए it is taxable. If that 180 was taxable for receiver, just like now dividend is taxable for shareholder. So when company pays dividend, on dividend they deduct tax. TDS can come only when the payment is income of the receiver. Taxable income of the receiver. Okay. So don't bring TDS here. 115 QA के अंदर separate rate of 20% is given. With that, section 10 is over. To the extent relevant for your exam, section 10 is over. But I wish to do with you another section 10 AA. Same to same. 10, 10, same. Same. CA exam. So foundation and final is same. नहीं. अभी इज्जत लेगा. I have done this before. Same thing I am doing. And now if you let me do it, that means you are not serious about this. So isliye I am asking you, are 10 and 11 different numbers? Yes. 10 and 10 AA are as different as 10 and 11. So there was a section 10, there was a section 11. Between the two there is a separate section. 10 2 or 10 2A or 1034A are all a part of 10. They are clauses of section. But 10 AA is 10 AA. It is not 10 AA. It is not 10 AA. Hello. Huh. You write it as 10 AA or you write it as 10 AA. Or you write it as 10 AA. They are all wrong. The only correct way of writing 10 AA is 10AA. No other way is the correct way of writing 10 AA. This is a section between 10 and 11. So section 10 is over. What is given to us in 10 AA? Let's try and understand that also. 10 AA is first of all a deduction. 10 AA is first of all mitro kya? Deduction, not an exemption. And exemption deduction ka difference ka any idea? Yes, sir. Exemption will not be included. So if you have gain on buyback, don't write it only in the amount column. Sikkim is individual ka income in Sikkim, don't write it in the amount column. But if you have this, first we will write it in the income. It will come in the total, and from that total we will get a deduction. This is a deduction. The deduction, that way we have a full chapter on deductions, chapter 6. But that chapter is section 80 ka series, section 80C to section 80U. And this deduction is also a deduction, but it is a separate section ka sequence. Therefore, because it is in 10 ka sequence, we are doing it here. Section 10 AA, the deduction for doing business in something called SEZ, that is Special Economic Zone. Full form छोड़ के और कुछ मालूम? Example नहीं, meaning. हाँ. हाँ. और कुछ? Special Economic Zone के लिए, first of all, in India there is a law called SEZ Act, a special law. So whatever you all are saying is right. But how does the government have authority to do this? By creating a law. What is the name of the law? SEZ Act. Not a part of CA syllabus ever. Up to final. CA syllabus ka part hi nahi. But what does or how does it impact our CA ka tax ka knowledge? Supposingly, ये इंडिया, any particular place, this particular place. Where is this place located? In which country? India. If I ask you the physical location of this place, what is that? India. Correct? Eh? But imagine, this is not in India. Don't close your eyes and imagine, because I know you will go off to sleep. Imagine it is not in India. Imagine that this place is outside India. Because for the purpose of applying some of our tax laws, some of our other laws, we will treat this as a special area where some laws of the land will not apply. To develop a particular geographical area, government wants that this particular area should be developed. So under SEZ law, that area will be declared as special economic zone. And what is the significance of any area being declared as special economic zone? If we talk about indirect taxes, once upon a time in India there was a law called excise, any tax on manufacture, but no tax on manufacture in SEZ. There was a law called a service tax for service providers, but no service tax for service provided in SEZ. Present day there is an indirect tax law called a GST. Start what? 9. So when you will learn GST somewhere, you will be taught that anything done in SEZ will not attract GST. Similar tax benefit is provided in income tax in the form of a deduction under 10AA. We are not interested in the tax benefit under GST or excise or service tax. We are interested in the tax holiday given in 10AA in the form of deduction. Exemption nahi. Means if I am doing that business in SEZ, first of all there will be profit from that business. That profit will be included in my total income. Supposingly take an example that profit is 5 lakh rupees. I will write that 5 lakh in my income. In this I will add my other income. Say I have got other income of 6 lakh. Then I will find out my gross income, that is 11 lakh. And from this I will give 10AA ka deduction to get my net income. Because this is a deduction. Had this been an exemption, so this would have been 0 and this was not required. And this difference between exemption and deduction, we are already aware. Yes or no? Yes. So, what is the tax benefit of doing business in special economic zone? The chapter SEZ is a separate chapter in CA final direct tax. Out of the 43 chapters that we have in DT, chapter 7 in my textbook is special tax provisions for special economic zone. 1 hour tak I tell the students about the conditions. Lots and lots of conditions are given. To give you some example, that you should not form your business by splitting up or reconstruction of an existing business. Sir, kya bhari bhari English you are talking? Samjhata hai. I am doing, see, there is a particular area which is declared as SEZ. I will not make India ka map. So this area in India is declared as SEZ. If I do business in any of the area outside this, am I eligible for SEZ deduction? No. Supposingly I am running any shop, any profession, anything, not eligible. The area neighboring, the area nearby has been declared by government as SEZ. So idea, close this shop here and open the shop here. Business wohi hai and it is not very far also. And the tax benefit which I was not getting outside this area, I will start getting inside this area. Aap samjha kya? So that is not allowed. That's the condition. It should not be splitting up or a reconstruction of an existing business. Now you understood the condition? There is a condition that your business should have started up to 1920. Sir, we are now in 20 to 23. So new business in SEZ is not eligible. Those who had started up to 1920 will continue to be eligible. New people will not be allowed. That is a condition. There is a condition that you will have to get a report of a chartered accountant that the calculation that you have done here is a correct calculation. So you do the calculation. Under that calculation, that will be signature of a chartered accountant. Only if he says it is right, otherwise it is not right. And this was told by the Prime Minister of India on 1st July 2017. Bahi ko sahi karne wale mere mitra. Bahi means books. Sahi means sign. Bahi ko sahi. Mitro. You act as an interface between government and industry. When you sign, people trust. If you have signed, that means it is right. A company is saying, I have got net profit of 10,000 crore. Invest money in my company. We don't know if there is net profit. You will sign and say, yes, there is net profit. When you sign, investors trust. When you sign, government puts trust. When you sign, the whole industry, the creditors, the lenders, they all trust. And that is why he said, आपका signature मेरे नहीं, प्रधानमंत्री के. मेरे में as an individual मोदी जी has got, मतलब आपका signature प्रधानमंत्री के signature से भी ज्यादा powerful. He said it. I am just repeating. 1st July 2017, first day of GST implementation. The calculation that I am going to teach you, and then we will learn how to solve that in the form of sums. A CA intermediate student will solve that. Solve the sum and get marks. After few years again solve the same sums and get marks in CA final. ऐसे चलते फिरते it will become like an everyday का task for us. For us it is going to be a very normal calculation. But that calculation is right or wrong, your paper checker will give you marks. वो बहुत छोटी बात कर रहे हो. Government will give deduction to the assessee only if you have signed. In other words, there will be a practicing chartered accountant having his own CA form. He is going to keep assistants in his office known as articles. He will make them do this work. Because they are already learning this. This is like a daily calculation. You will do the calculation. He will only sign and he'll get lakhs of rupees from the client. He won't share it with you. कोई नहीं देता है. He will get it. But do you realize after some years you will get it? Get paid only for sign. Celebrity का sign का वो value नहीं. Which celebrity gets paid only for giving an autograph? You will get paid for signing. Welcome to Chartered Accountancy. So there is a condition which says report of Chartered Accountant is compulsory. There is a condition which says inter-business transfer. Sir, English. Sir, ऐसा हो सकता है I am doing one business, I am doing another business. One business is in special economic zone. Another business is in normal zone. Dadar, Manish Market, Kabutar Khana, non-special economic zone. Normal zone. They, in legal language, are known as domestic tariff areas. Bhari legal language they are using. Special means special. Anything which is normal is domestic tariff area, means normal laws will apply. Can I be the owner of both businesses? Yes. Can there be internal trading between the two businesses? At what price to do that trading is exclusively my control because I own both. If I sell anything from SEZ to domestic tariff area, I will purposely sell at higher price. Understand the manipulating brain of a chartered accountant here. And you all are experts at manipulation, but the kind of doubt some of you all have asked already made it clear. Sir, aisa kiya to, waisa kiya to, what will happen? Correct ke nahi? Purposely sell at a higher price. Or if you sell from year to year, then purposely sell at a lower price. This will not change the overall profit that you have earned because both businesses are yours. Try kar beta. Shirt ke jeb mein se remove some money. Put it in your jeans ka pocket. Say trouser account debit to shirt account being. You can't make extra profit by transacting with yourself. The total profit will remain unaffected. Sales here will be purchase here. Consolidation mein it will be cancelled against each other. तभी तो in branch account departmental account आएगा. That if there is any inter-branch transfer, so that profit will not be taken in accounts. Because it is dealt with ourselves. How can there be profit? आएगा. Branch account, departmental account. आप समझा क्या? So, if we purposely show more profit here and less here, why? Why? Because here if I show profit, no deduction, fully taxable. And here if I show more profit, it will be eligible for deduction of 10AA. So there is a condition which says inter-business transfer should take place at fair market value. You understood? There is a long list of conditions applicable for you when you come to CA final. Textbook mein that way I have printed it for you, but you are not required to focus on the conditions. if at all you at inter-level, if at all you are going to be tested as far as SEZ ka deduction is concerned, they are going to ask you in your exam, what is the quantum of deduction? That means if I am doing business in SEZ, how much a deduction? Deduction, exemption means full profit will come in income and how much will be my deduction. Is that understood? That deduction will be calculated in 2 steps. In step number 1, you have to find out something called the qualifying amount. What is your qualifying amount? What is the amount eligible for deduction? With the help of the following formula. Profit, that's the profit which has entered your computation of income. Because it's a deduction, so full profit will go in income, no? Into export turnover upon total turnover. Profit into export turnover upon total turnover. Matlab, we will be eligible for tax benefit only in the proportion of, in the ratio of our exports. Example. Numerical example. Supposingly, our total sales in business, sales and turnover, you understand, no? Turnover ka meaning you understand, no? Total turnover is 10 crore. And from that, domestic sale, local sale is 4 crore. Use your brain if you have one and tell me, therefore, how much is the export of this company? 6 crore. Can I say 60% export oriented company? Yes. And with this 10 crore ka sales that you have done, you understand sales and profit are 2 different figures. With the 10 crore ka sales that you have earned, obviously you are going to make some profit. The profit that you have earned is 2 crore. Can I say 20% return on turnover? Turnover ka 20% profit, 80% expenses, 20% margin. First question, how much will be going in my income calculation? Full 2 crore. How much will come in my gross income? Means other income will be added and I'll get my gross income. How much? Full 2 crore. But after this I will get deduction. In that deduction, my first step will be, this full profit will not be eligible. Find out the profit in proportion of export. So in this example, if I ask you what is the qualifying amount, what is the profit? 2 crore. Into export turnover upon total turnover. Can I say 1.2 crore is my deduction? Nahi. Qualifying amount. Qualifying amount. Samjha? Ignore 1.2 crore for the time being and tell me how much has come in my profits. Don't ignore 1.2 still, how much has come in my profits. And now 1.2 has not become my deduction. 1.2 is only qualifying amount. And finally in my step number 2, I will calculate my deduction. You have to go and check whether the assessee is in year 1 to 5 of his business or whether the assessee is in year 6 to 10 of his business. That means, can I say first 5 years and next 5 years? Yes. The deduction for first 5 years is different and the deduction for next 5 years is different. If any assessee is during the first 5 years of business, we will give you the deduction of 100% of your qualifying amount. So if this data that we have given here, turnover ka, profit ka data, if this data pertains to first 5 years of my business, so how much will go in profit? 2 crore. How much will come in gross income? 2 crore. What will be the qualifying amount? 1.2. And therefore what will be the deduction also? 1.2. Because we are in first 5 years. Okay, so final net mein only 80 will go. But initially you will have to write full 2 because it's a deduction, not an exemption. Very good. Now let's go to year 6 to 10. The deduction for year 6 to 10 is going to be 50% of your qualifying amount. This is why we have kept it under deduction. If we keep it under exemption, then it goes tax free forever. So for the years 6 to 10, we don't want to give you full benefit. We want to give you only half benefit. So half is going to be exempt. Exempt matlab deducted, not exempt. Deduction. Will an assessee have the same numbers every year? No, obviously no. So in my last example, we assumed that this was one of the first 5 years. Now let's take another assumption. What if this is data from year 6 to 10? We are assuming that this data is from year 6 to 10. How much will go in your profit rate? 2 crore. How much will go in gross income? 2 crore. What will be your qualifying amount? 1.2. Qualifying amount will be 1.2. And deduction will be 60 lakhs. 1.2. 1.2 ka half. 0.6 bolo ya. 60 lakhs. 1 and the same. Qualifying amount is not changing. Profit is not changing. Only the last amount, the deduction that you are taking, that is going to change. But obviously, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9, 10, all the years the data is going to be different. That year ka profit, that year ka export, that year ka total will give you that year ka qualifying amount. And now that year is 1 to 5 or 6 to 10. 1 to 5 hua to? Of qualifying amount. 6 to 10 hua to? 50%. Understood? Whether 100, whether 50, profit mein to full profit will go. Income mein full profit will go. Gross income mein full amount will go. The 100 or 50 ka decision will be taken ekdam end mein, at the end. I'll explain how. Therefore, when we compute our income, what profit we will write from this example? 2 crore. In that we will add other income. Example, 8 crore. So what is our gross income? 10 crore. Then now we are going to give deduction of 10 double A. Mitro, calculation of qualifying amount and all that is going to be working out. In deduction, if we are in year 1 to 5 and we have the data that is given to us, so we take 1.2. And if we are in year 6 to 10, so we will take 0.6. Obviously, one of them, whichever year we are in. All the other calculation has to be done as a part of a working. Good question. I was going to come to that. But year 1 to 10 is clear. Step 1 qualifying amount does not change from year 1 to 10. Step 2 mein the change comes where first 5 years may we give 100% and next 5 years may we give 50%. Is that clear? Okay. After 10 years, we have the third slot of year 11 to 15. For that also they have given this deduction. But for that they have added some more conditions. Just to tell you, they have said that you will have to set aside a certain portion of your profits in a separate reserve called SEZ reinvestment reserve. Matlab, P&L account debit to SEZ reinvestment reserve karke one journal entry you will have to pass. Money will be with you only. But in books, it will appear as a separate reserve. See, one reserve debit, another reserve create. This 50% or that journal entry that you pass, whichever is lower will be your deduction. Further conditions, that the money which is lying in that reserve, actually physically cash is with you. Only in accounts you have created the reserve. Within 3 years, you buy new plant and machinery of this SEZ business. Because sir, 10 years of business are over, machinery has become obsolete now. Now old machine cannot work. That money within 3 years has to be used for purchasing new plant and machinery. Then only that deduction will be given to you, otherwise it will not be given to you. And in case you put money in the reserve, but later don't use it, then you have to pay tax on whatever deduction you have taken. It will be reversed. So, the deduction in year 11 to 15 is so complicated, so many conditions that practically an assessee has already taken a 10-year tax benefit. They avoid falling into the chaos of those conditions. For all practical purposes, deduction is taken from year 1 to 10. And as far as examination is concerned, they do ask the calculation of 11 to 15, but only in CA final, not in intermediate. You have to learn tax treatment of year 1 to 5, tax treatment of year 6 to 10. 11 to 15 also there is some tax benefit. 50% subject to the amount transferred, whichever is lower, from the 16th year. Guess? No tax benefit. Means now this profit को हम income में लिखेगा rubbish. Wake up. The profit will be written in income. It will enter my gross income. Deduction नहीं आएगा after 15 years. Profit को income में लिखेगा नहीं. Well, see, you say whatever, no, we agree with everything. We trust you. And will we write the profit in our income even after 15 years? Yes. So what will not come after 15 years? The deduction will not. Obviously, qualifying amount will also not come because we are not supposed to give any deduction on it. That was your deduction of 10 AA. The last section that I had to teach you. Actually, it's taught in exempt income, but actually it is a deduction.
So in this, in the first 5 years, the company has full export business and is not selling it.
So this will be 10 upon 10. Correct? Qualifying amount will be full profit. And first 5 years में full deduction. So 2 crore in profit and 2 crore in deduction. But subject to 2 conditions. Condition 1, 100% export. And condition 2, first 5 years. Let me only say it. 100% export, the first 5 years profit equal to deduction. Next 5 years, exactly half of your profit equal to deduction. In case it's a 100% export business. Was that your question? Yes, it is. Yes, it is that way. In income tax, it is only for 50. And that also, now listen, the last year to start that business as per rules was 1920. So anybody who has started in 1920, uska 15 years ka time is going on. Now anybody starts that 1 year also, you will not get that benefit. That's gone now. Huh. But ऐसा नहीं है. Now the one student can ask a question, sir, 1920 के बाद में तो nobody is allowed to go in SEZ. So now we are in 2020, 20 to 23. That's after 1920. तो अब SEZ पढ़ने का? I'm asking you. Why? Because 15 year का time slot for those who already started in the allowable time is still going on. Correct है कि नहीं? हाँ. So that was our 10 AA का section. That was our chapter exempt income. अब listen, exempt income पे that way there cannot be any question. क्योंकि you know what is exempt income. This income is exempt and then amount column में you write 0. So how will you solve a sum where you have to write amount as 0? So there is no sum except your 10 AA. So we did one agriculture where we had to bifurcate. Composite wala. And there is one question on 10 AA with which our exempt income will get over. So 10 AA का एक question है. We'll finish that. And thereafter we will go ahead to our heads of income. Let's see what do we have. This is ICAI study material ka question. This is page number 28. Page number 28.
Question number 21. Goodwill Limited has one unit at special economic zone and other units at domestic tariff areas. The company provides the following details for the period year 22-23.
First tell me, domestic tariff area means can I say non-SEZ or can I say SEZ का financial amounts and domestic tariff area का financial data is total company का data. SEZ का profit and domestic tariff area का profit is total profit of the company. बराबर है. So read. What are the details given to you?
Export sales, total sales 6 crores and units in TTA 2 crores.
मतलब what is the total sale of the company Rudra Limited? 6 crore. From that 2 crore का sale has taken place in? तो फिर if I ask you what is the sale in SEZ, तो what will be your answer? You understand? हाँ, for that only I have left space here. 4 crore. फिर
Export sales is 4 crores 60 lakhs.
Total of the company is 460. उसमें domestic area का is
1 crore 60.
तो फिर what will be the export of the SEZ with that balancing figure? 3 crore. समझ में आता है? Next.
Net profits 80 lakhs and units in DTA 20 lakh.
Then what is the profit of SEZ? 60 lakh. So do you understand? These two equal to company. This plus this equal to this. Chal, what is given to you?
Compute the total income for the assessment year 23-24 in the following situations. Both units were set up and start manufacturing from 22nd/5/2014. If both units were set up and start manufacturing from 14/5/2019.
की फर्क पड़ता है bro? See, ultimately we are doing manufacturing. What difference it makes? If we have done manufacturing from 14-15, that means we are in our which year? 14-15, 15-16, 16-17, 17-18, 18-19, 5 years are over. 19-20, 20-21, 21-22, 22-23, we are in our 9th year. And 9th year है, मतलब qualifying amount का 50%. Very good. If both units were set up and start manufacturing from 14th May 19, so now we are in first 5, 19-20, 20-21, 21-22, 22-23, 4th year. Therefore, 3rd, 4th mein that way it does not make any difference. But still, if you write the wrong year, you lose marks. Preferably say we are in first 5 years. Khatam. Difference kya hai? What difference it will make? That's the only place where the difference will come. Otherwise, the first step is not going to change. So, the question is asking us, compute the total income for assessment year 2023. Correct? First 5 years or year 6 to 10. That means case 1 or case 2. What is the profit that is earned by the SEZ? 60 lakh. So what is the profit that will go to the income computation? Popat! 80 lakhs. 80 lakh. Income of the company is 80. On 60 we calculate deduction. On 20 we don't. But when we are computing the income, what will go in income? Total 80 lakhs. My question was, what amount will go in my income? Because we are asked computation of income, no? Chalo, dekhte. Question number 21. Case 1. Case 1 matlab, can I say at least this we have concluded, year 6 to 10 is going on? Mitro, even if it is year 6 to 10 going on, what is the profit of the company? Here you have to write full 80 lakhs. And in the absence of any other income, what is the gross income of the company? Had there been other income, to kya karta? You tell me. We would have added, but here there is no other income. So what is the gross income? 80 lakh. And from this gross income, we will give you your 10AA ka deduction. Correct? Hai? Okay. First step mein we will find out the qualifying amount. Formula in words क्या है? Profit into export upon total. So profit 80 lakhs. No. 16 into export turnover 4 crore 60. Nah, 3 crore. And total turnover 6 crore. No, 4 crore. The deduction is calculated on the basis of data of SEZ. Income में full profit will come, but deduction will be on the data of SEZ. समझा क्या? So what is your qualifying amount? 45 lakh. And mitro, step number 2, your deduction. This is which case going on? 2014. That means can I say 50%? 45 lakh ka 50%. That will be 22 lakh 50,000. Check करो 5750 आता है क्या? Check करो. If you purchased your calculator, then recover the cost, and if you taken it on rent, then recover the rent. 5750 आया. Second वाला you will do on your own now. and after you finish this second part, also complete the very next question, that is question number 22 on your own. No one reads the answer. Question 22. So 21 ka second part and 22. Please do it. Okay. First tell me about the second part. If you realize second part में till here, so it is going to be same only. Qualifying amount be same hai. Difference is only going to be that the deduction here, this only will change into 100. So this will become 45. And यहाँ पे I think आपका final answer will come to 35. I think that 35 lakh का answer and format is already given to you. Okay. And now if we talk about the second question, question number 22. So what do you have? Vibha Gupta is a resident individual running SEZ as well as domestic tariff area. Following is the data. First of all, tu bhaad mein ja. When the full company ka and domestic tariff area was given, no, the difference was our SEZ ka data. But here to we are not interested. So this is export total net profit. Compute the deduction. So here they are not asking you to compute the income. So once you have to compute the deduction, you just have to focus on the SEZ ka data. Okay. 12th March 15 is still 1415 and this is still 1920. So once again, can I say 9th year and 4th year? What difference it will make? Qualifying amount will remain same, but here it is going to be so 1415 here na? So 9th year only I said. So here 50% and here 100%. Qualifying amount will remain same. 220 into 1000 divided by 1100, that's 200. What is your deduction here? First case 100, second case 200. Correct hai kya nahi mitro? All right. So congratulations, badhai ho, abhinandan. That was your chapter exempt income. Thank you very much. How many people